Hey guys, it's Charlie. So in April, I saw three really great comedies thanks to Regal Cinemas in their Laugh Out Loud event, is what I'll call it. So the three comedies that I saw for the first time on the big screen, the way they're meant to be seen, is Blazing Saddles from 1974, Wayne's World from 1992, and The Mask from 1994, which I just got out of. Now, no need to do like a plot breakdown of these movies because they're well-known movies. They are great movies, and I'm glad to have been able to see all three of these guys the way they're meant to be seen, because that's just how cinema is meant to be experienced. Is in the big screen, the way it was meant to be seen with a crowd. So, of the three, let's go in order here. So, number three of my favorites here, I am going to say, is Wayne's World. It might be a little sacrilegious to say Wayne's World, but it is a great comedy. I remember watching the hell out of that VHS from McDonald's when I was growing up because it was amazing. It had so much great stuff, including two of my favorite sequences in there, which would be the Bohemian Rhapsody opening and the Alice Cooper stuff, which was great. Number two, I'm going to say Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is a great movie from 1974. I like the dynamic that played off between Gene Wilder and Clevon Little. I saw the chemistry that played off so well between them on screen, and it's why a movie like that can never be made today, is because you cannot recreate that type of chemistry in modern day. It's not going to happen, because people are going to want to play it safe because they're too afraid to offend. So yeah, that's a magical movie, a great movie. If you've never seen it, Blazing Saddles is definitely worth seeing. And I'm going to say my number one favorite of these three is The Mask. I would have been about 10 years old when The Mask came out in 1994, because I was born in 84. And I didn't see this one in theaters. I saw this in that little time when it was out of theaters and it hadn't quite got on VHS yet. We were vacationing during the summer, me, my mom, and my dad, I think, in Vegas, and they had The Mask on pay-per-view, and that's how I saw it. I saw it on pay-per-view in the hotel room. And back then, as a 10-year-old, I thought, well, this is amazing. This is probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, one of the greatest comedies. It's awesome. Would this have been my first introduction to Jim Carrey? I think it might have, because I think after The Mask, I went out and got the VHS for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which also came out that year. So yeah, I think it was The Mask first and then Ace Ventura after that. So I'm going to say that The Mask, not just being my favorite comedy that I saw on the big screen the way it's meant to be seen in April, I think I want to say that that's probably my favorite comedy of all time is The Mask, and my favorite Jim Carrey movie of all time, because I really love the interplay in that one. Ace Ventura is a great movie, but I really love The Mask. I love his character in The Mask. I liked how the CGI was essentially based off of his own mannerisms instead of the CGI taking over the movie. And that's why I really love The Mask as a comedy, because the CGI was there because of Jurassic Park and because of Terminator 2, but it wasn't at that point where CGI was dominating the movie. And that means you're still getting story in it and genuine chemistry between up-and-coming actress Cameron Diaz, this being her first movie, and Jim Carrey, who played the lead, and also just genuine chemistry and nastiness of the late, great Peter Green, who passed away last year, as Dorian. I thought he was awesome. as a villain, I thought it was very well downplayed the way he was, and I liked it. I just love that the music kind of overtakes me with a movie like The Mask. The special effects, CGI looks great, but there's still story to the movie, and the story is what keeps reeling me back in, why I would say The Mask is probably my favorite comedy of all time. There's a lot of other movies that probably would be on that list, like Young Frankenstein or the Austin Powers movies. I definitely love those Austin Powers movies. They are great. But yeah, I want to say that The Mask is probably my favorite comedy of all time, just because it had that blend of story still, with great casting, with great chemistry playing off between the characters, and it just understands how great comedy, great special effects is good, but story will always be the main selling point for me in what makes a movie great, is the story. I want a good story. That's why I made the decision to see The Mask tonight, because it's awesome, and also the documentary Lorne. So I did a double feature of The Mask and the documentary Lorne, which I also enjoyed for what it was, because it's just amazing that a show like Saturday Night Live has been around for 50 years and still has stuck around because it can reinvent itself and still be relevant to today. And it's just amazing seeing how many of the modern comedians today owe their start to Saturday Night Live and owe their careers to Saturday Night Live. Lorne Michaels really understands what makes good comedy great, and that's what I really loved about the documentary. So yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. Feel free to comment below with what you would feel is the best comedy you've ever seen, because you know what my favorite is. I'll see you. Peace.